I went out yesterday and got some cut flowers because they're finally starting to bloom, and that's pretty exciting. So I just wanted to show you what one of my favorite flowers to grow is, and it's one of the easiest to grow. And they come in lots of different colors. They come in single and doubles. They are butterfly magnets and other pollinator magnets. And they don't cost very much, but they give a good bang for the buck. And those would be zinnias. Zinnias. Let's see if I can get this so y'all can see them pretty well. There we go. Look at those colors. These are amazing. Zinnias. I love them. So, zinnias are they are very, very easy to grow. You can grow them right from seed. You can grow them easily in pots to start them off like you would like vegetables and stuff. And they're just, gosh, they're so beautiful. Look at how beautiful they are. Look at that design. That is so cool. Whoops. Don't look there because it's all fuzzy. But they come in all different colors. This is actually more of a red, but in this light it's orange. This is a dark, like magenta. There's a light pink. This one, oh yeah, another red one. This one's got some variegations to it. Variegations. And then there was one that was really kind of cute. I wanted to show you. Oh, not that one, but that's really nice. That's super pretty. It looks like almost like a cake. They're just so pretty. Zinnias, and they're so easy to grow. They're very difficult to kill. This one? No, this one. Oh, look at this. Check this out. I thought this was really cool. Look at that. It's got some variegations in the flower petals, and they're like a lime green, so it's kind of like electric. It's kind of fun. Now, if you go to the nursery, many times they have either just a variety, like they'll call them State Fair zinnias, and it's just a set pattern of, or set color of zinnias that they decide to start. But if there are certain colors you want, you can buy the seeds for them and start them yourself. Like I said, it's really easy to start zinnias. So if you had gone to the nursery this year and you didn't see anything like these, or you didn't see anything like these, but you wanted them, you can do a Google search to find out what variety they are. And then you can also do a Google search to see where you can buy the seeds. So they are super easy to grow. The stems are nice and long. And when I cut my flowers, I cut them off at an angle on the stem. And then I also remove any leaves on them. Usually I remove any leaves, especially leaves that are going to be under the water. That's going to make them last longer. But you can see these are super sturdy. And they make really nice bouquets. So get the colors that you really want. And don't be afraid to play around. Some seeds are a variety pack. And some are particularly a certain color. So make sure you get the colors that you want to see. Things that like flatter your garden or provide contrast to plants you already have. And especially plant these in the middle of perennials that you just started. Because the perennials are going to take 3 years to mature and fill in the space. So you might as well have some really gorgeous plants in the meantime. And the more that you cut zinnias, the more they grow back. And let's see. I got some. I left some flowers on so I could show you. So this is what not flowers, I left some petals on. This is what the petals look like if you didn't take them off. But what you'll see is down further on the stem is you will have petals that they're this shaped, but then they'll also have these little tiny outgrowths on either side, like on the insides of the leaves. You see these little outgrowths. And if you can, you want to make your cut right above one of those leaf sets that has an outgrowth. And what you'll do is you'll split the stem into now 2 stems. So then if you go to cut another flower to bring in or to do whatever you want to with it, now those 2 stems that you've already cut will have the same thing. They'll have leaves with little tiny leaves on them. So you'll cut right at those areas too, and then those will branch out into more. So the more you cut them, the more flowers you get. The issue with zinnias is if you plant them too close together, they can get what you call it? They can get like mildew on them. Amy, you know what? I got to double check on these because I think these were called like a dahlia mix. These giant ones, and I think that's what they were called. Actually, were giant dahlia. I got to check my packs and see. But you can get any color, any variety that you want. Oh, good. I'm glad I answered your question. And the other part is sometimes people prefer like single bloom. You're welcome, Amy. Where you just have one row of flower petals. That's what the singles mean. But if you want the doubles, then you're going to have more than one layer of flower petals. So some people really prefer them like this. Same with like peonies and roses. Some people prefer the open flower, the big open flower with just a single layer of petals. And like this one. And other people prefer when they have multiple layers all around the doubles. And that's all just, that's just people's preferences. I've also seen some zinnias that they have flowers all up in here too. And they just have a very small section of the petioles in the middle for the pollinators. But pollinators love these. All kinds of pollinators love these because it's so flat and open. Even hummingbirds will come to zinnias. They'll come and they'll put their little tongue inside the middle of these little stars to get the nectar out. Now that's a lot of work, but that's where the nectar is for the zinnias. So hummingbirds will come, bees come, wasps come, hoverflies come. Just about anything will come. If you leave them to go to seed, you wait until they're actually brown and dried out, then every one of these little yellow flowers that got pollinated will be a seed for you. So if you happen to see somebody's yard who has gorgeous zinnias, you could ask them, hey, is there any chance I can get some seeds from you, from the ones that are dying back? Or you could ask them what kind they are, and they'll let you know. Or they might even have some left over from years in the past. So zinnias are super, super easy to grow, super easy to harvest. And my zinnias were just starting to bloom. I think it was last week. It took a little while. Now, I have seen people make zinnia bouquets, flower arrangements with just these kinds of flowers. And maybe you would sell it for like $5. But if you start adding what they call filler flowers, so that's just Queen Anne's lace. Filler flowers, you could get ferns, you could even get grasses, you can get twigs off of trees or bushes or shrubs. You can put herbs in there. If you were to get filler flowers, and maybe you have a giant zinnia. This is a pretty big zinnia. That's the size of it. It fills up my hand. If you were to start with one really large flower like that, put smaller flowers around it, maybe like chamomile or some bachelor buttons, and then put a bunch of fillers in and sell that for $5. Imagine how many arrangements you actually could sell. You get a bigger bang for your buck. Some people like to use amaranth for fillers. Some people use the grass pods. Some people use things like, I've got blackberry lilies that have stems that come up, and then the flowers kind of like float. They look really floaty. But think about that. Think about how many other things, try other things, and see if you can make multiple arrangements out of a bunch that you create. You'll get more bang for your buck. You'll get a little bit more creative juices flowing. And again, if they're large enough, that could be a main flower. Like a dahlia or a big rose or a big peony could be a main flower, and then you surround it by smaller ones. And what I like to do too is I like to think about if you've got a solid leaf, solid color, can you get things that are fluffy and frilly as a contrast? Because it's kind of fun to see. So I might get Cosmo leaves from the Cosmo flowers, or dill is really nice. It doesn't hold up really well in the water necessarily, but it can be nice. And do some playing around and see what you can do. This is almost the color of like a coneflower, same as that one back there. Maybe you mix it up. Maybe you take some perennials and put some annuals with them, like this. And then, again, put some fillers in there. Make it interesting. See the green on the Queen Anne's lace? The green frilliness against the solid zinnias. That's kind of fun. You might put some taller flowers in there. Lavender would look really nice with... Whoops. There we go. There we go. Lavender would look really nice with any of these, either the leaves or the flowers or both. And, just play around with them. But zinnias, I love these. Easy to grow, easy to maintain, just about carefree. And as long as the rabbits haven't eaten your plants, you'll keep getting harvests. So keep cutting them and keep getting harvests. Zinnias. That's all I got to say about that. I had this on the counter. I wanted to make sure I said something about them. Ta-da! Man, that one's really interesting. It's almost like a passion flower. Okay, that's all I got.